today's story. So basically, what happens is, it's a normal day of school. We'll go through the whole day of school. Everything is going well. Everything's bright, dandy, chilling. It comes to the last lesson, and this is the lesson after dinner. And this lesson is a science lesson. And I used to sit at the back of the science class, so I could basically just see everything that was going on. I think we actually had, I don't know if it was biology. Yeah, it was. So I can remember I was sitting in the back of a biology lesson. I was just there. Everything was fine. Everything was going well. I was pretty bored though, I was just staring at the clock, hoping and praying that the lesson could just go faster so everyone could just leave and we could all just go home and, So anyways, I'm just sitting there and my one friend's next to me, and I'm kind of like chatting to him, just talking to him a little bit whilst doing the work at the same time. To be honest, I never really used to do much. I used to copy it off the board, to be honest, I'm not going to lie, which is very bad. I don't recommend doing that, Go to school, do your work, be good. Yeah, great. So, there is this guy at the front who's kind of like a shy, quiet kid, and there is the guy next to him who is the guy who I had a fight with, kind of a bit of a loudmouth, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, that guy, after the fight and whatnot, we made up, we was friends throughout school. Like, I was always a bit wary of him after, but me and him were on a cool level, everything was good that had been done. This was really strange because the guy who I had a fight with kept like flicking the shy kid's ear, like, just doing it on a little joke thing, like, you could be sitting in class and like, I don't know, but this was with a shy kid. It mainly happens between like friends, like your friends could annoy you by like, I don't know, keep tapping you or flicking your ear, something like that. But this guy was doing it to a quiet kid who he didn't really know, so he didn't really know how the guy would react. So like, the guy kept doing it to him, and the shy kid kept moving his head away. He never said anything much, and then the teacher actually clocks on, and the teacher's like, "Oi, don't get doing that." But he said his name. He was like, "Don't you get doing that? Stop!" And this was a new teacher that we had for the lesson. So yeah, he was kind of new to the whole thing, and yeah, he looked like he was a bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. And this was the first time we had him for the lesson, and yeah, he got punched, which that must have been the worst first lesson. Like, imagine starting up as a new job and just getting punched on the first day by a bunch of teenagers. That would be the worst feeling in the world. So yeah, I really did feel for the teacher when this happened, but yeah, I'm gonna get into that. So what ends up happening is, literally, the teacher tells him, he stops for a bit. So 15 minutes late, and he's back doing it again. He keeps tapping his pen on his book and tries to like write in the corner of the guy's book. And the shy kid pipes up now. He's like, "Stop! What are you doing? Stop!" And his face is red. You can tell that like he's a bit nervous or something. Like, he just wants him to stop, man. Just leave the guy alone. So yeah, he keeps doing it. And like, at this point, the shy kid pipes up and literally just pushes the guy's face away. And like, the guy who I had a fight with stands up and he's like, "What? Nah, don't touch me, what?" And the teacher tells him, "Sit down now, sit down before I get an SLT." And he's like, "Nah, what are you gonna do? And I think the guy had like anger issues or something. The shy kid stands up and you just hear the science chairs just go like, that sound where you move a chair back but it's still on the floor, you kind of like drag it. You hear that sound like a The shy kid stands up and he's like, you told me to stand up, and everyone's looking at him like, "Sit down now." And I'm just there at the back of the classroom with literally my head in my hands, in my both hands, like my chin. And I'm just watching this because, there's nothing else to do, to be honest. I'm just waiting for the lesson to just get up and end. The guy who, got pushed in the face, who basically provoked the shy kid, ends up like flicking his ear again. He's like, "What are you gonna do? I'm flicking your ear, what are you gonna do?" And at this point, he's took it too far. So the shy kid again pushes the guy, full on pushes him. And then, them fighting, them like scrapping, because the guy who I had a fight with, he's bigger. He kind of took advantage stop the situation, and then he's running round. He's like to some girl on the front row. He's like, could you please go and get an SLT now? Like, telling me it's urgent. There's a fight going on. I've never heard that before. I'm in my life in a classroom. I'm not gonna lie. So the supply teacher is trying to break it up, like he's putting his hands through, and then other students in the class try and break it up as well. To be honest, I don't know why. Yeah, because you could get hurt like this teacher did. So as the teacher's trying to break it up, he's got his arms in between the both, so his arms are interlocked, weird, like his elbows are out. He's trying to push him, and he tries to grab the shy kid away, from the desk, because they was all pushed up against the desk. Chairs were going everywhere. The guy who I had a fight with ends up swinging, to hit the shy kid, but the shy kid, I don't know how. I saw this in the corner because someone records it as well, and I saw it after, and it was like it was in slow motion. The shy kid ducks, right, and ends up, the guy who's about to swing for him ends up punching the teacher and just clipping him under the eye, and the teacher literally is just like, oh god, and it ends up grabbing his eye, and ends up walking to the front of the classroom in the corner, and he's got his head down with his head in his hands, and he's double checking to see if there's any blood, but there's not. And at that point, it's still going on. So the SLTs, their room, their office is not far. It's literally round the corner. So the teacher and that were pretty lucky that it was not so far away, because the fight wouldn't have been stopped that quick. At this point, everyone stood up in the class trying to see if the teacher's okay, while them two are literally still squabbling, but there's people trying to break them up as well. So the SLT, as I am walking over to the teacher, he bursts through the door. He's like, right, and he's got a piece of paper in his hand. He's like, right, and he screams at the top of his lungs. I've never heard a scream this loud. He's like, class, sit down now, and he's screaming, and everyone at this point is like, oh, stops. But at that point, I'm laughing. I'm laughing. It's like, Isaac, why do you think so funny? He's like, Isaac, get out the classroom. So I get sent out, right? I'll stand in this lift. There's a lift area. It was pretty weird. We had a lift at the school. There's a little under arch thing. Then you've got a lift inside. Then you've got a science lab. I'm literally under this lift, and I'm just sitting on the floor at this point. There was this hole in the floor, and I was playing with. No, that's only weird. There was a hole in the floor, and I dropped some money down, and I thought I could get it back, but I never could. Biggest mistake of my life. So, anyways, I can hear screaming in the classroom. So what ends up happening is the teacher, who's just burst in the classroom, he's to another, student in the classroom. He's go to the administration office or something like that and ask them to call up a supply. The girl leaves the classroom. She speaks to me. She's like, Isaac, why did you get sent out? And I was like, it's probably because I was laughing, about the whole situation. I actually got a week's detentions, for an hour, just for laughing, bruh. Oh, it was crazy. After 5 minutes, a supply does end up coming up back with the girl. They go in the classroom, and at this point, the SLT can bring, everyone outside. So the teacher and the student are outside, and both the students at this point, they get taken by another SLT to sort the situation out. And then the SLT that was already in the classroom is outside with the teacher now, and he's like, Isaac, go back in the classroom. I'll speak to you after. The SLT for probably 20 minutes is talking to this teacher. The teacher does not end up coming back in the classroom because, I don't think he'd want to, plus it was his first day. So what ends up happening next is we finish up the lesson with this, with this supply teacher. Everything's good, and then from then we don't actually have that teacher again. We just have a few supply teachers until we actually got a new proper teacher. And the shy kid was still in the class, but the other kid was not. He got moved because they had to separate them. And the guy who provoked the shy kid ended up getting a week's school suspension. So and a couple of detentions outside, I spoke to him. He told me to take my planner. I took my planner and he gave me a week's full of detentions. And I was like, what, for laughing? And he was like, yeah, like, in this situation, that's how you don't behave. And I was like, okay, whatever. So, yeah, he gave me the detentions. I just went up, done them. It's simple. And yeah, that is the story. If you did enjoy, please do not forget to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, turn on all bell notifications, and I'll see you in tomorrow's story. Peace.